Hey y'all, welcome to Too Geek'd Tuesdays, where I share tips, tools, and resources to help make video marketing a breeze for you. For those who don't know me, my name is Crystal Crawford, and I help self-care brands focus on their genius while I geek out on my video content. I am a content strategist with over 5 years of experience, and I specialize in repurposing content, and in particular, repurposing content into short form videos such as Reels and TikToks. Now, let's get into today's session. Today I am too geeked because look at this head wrap. This is my first time wearing a head wrap in public that I made, that I did myself. So, you know, I see some room for improvement, but you know, I'm happy that I got it looking good enough that I feel comfortable walking outside. This is one of the goodies I was talking about from last week that I got from Cece's Closet, New York City. And you know, I added a little headband as well because I gotta be extra. I am also too geeked today to share with you all self-care, what reels to post as a self-care brand. I am super duper excited about this. One of, you know, the biggest questions or kind of topics around reels is like, oh, do I need to do reels? What should I do for reels? You know, not knowing what to post and all of those things. So I'm here to help self-care brands out. And in particular today, I'm going to be focusing on wellness podcasters. I'm going to be focusing on estheticians, and I'm going to be focusing on healers. And I got a couple categories in that. So, reels. Why do you even need to do them? So, reels are a completely free way to reach and connect with your ideal audience. I just did a reel myself about this. Go ahead and check it out after this video. But yeah, basically, you know, I know it can be maybe feel overwhelming for some and just, you know, trying to keep up with everything. But when you think about it, as a business, as a brand, Reel is a free way for you to reach your audience. It's a free way for people to learn about you, for people to connect with you, and yeah, take advantage of that while you can. So that is my spiel about why you should be doing Reels. Again, check out the reel that I did not too long ago, and I go in a little bit more detail about this. All right, let's get into the different types of reels that you can do. So first we're going to focus on wellness podcasters. So one thing that you could do as a wellness podcaster is highlight the host or the host. So one of my favorite podcasts is the Black Girl Bravado podcast. And I thought this was so cute that they did, actually it was a Facebook post where they were basically just giving each other their flowers. And it was so sweet. I loved it. And it's perfect because, you know, their brand, really focuses on sisterhood. Their brand really focuses on community and friendships. So this was just like on point for them. I would say this would make an excellent reel. So they have their caption, and I would love if they were saying these things in the reel. So if they were just giving each other their flowers verbally and then having a nice little B-roll video of the friend that they were talking about. And yeah, just having them, you know, being themselves, doing their thing. I think that would make an amazing reel. And yeah, it's a great way to get to better know the host of the podcast and, you know, learn more about their personality, because that's one of the main things that's going to keep people coming back to the podcast. So that is the first way. The next way that I think is really awesome, it can be pretty simple to do, is spoken quotes for wellness podcasters. So this is a little screenshot from To Thrive, one of their reels on their accounts. And basically a spoken quote is, you can use a plain background, or you can use, in this case, she used like a video image of, I believe this is her, like window and chair. It's so beautiful how it's set up. But basically, you know, she said a few statements and a few words about her personal journey, and then, you know, she turned that into a caption so people can read along. And yeah, there you have it. These reels are super simple to make, super easy, and you can use it from quotes from episodes. You can use it of just thoughts that you're having. So it's a super easy reel to do, and it's something that doesn't necessarily require your face, which I know people are fans of. Now, the next type of reel for wellness podcaster that I suggest is to visualize your topic. So this is really good. It can be kind of similar to the reel before, but basically, let's say you did a wellness podcast episode and it was about, in this case, I'm just going to say sound healing because that's what this picture is of. So let's say you did, about the benefits, or maybe you talked to a sound healer, you found out the history, all that good stuff. Like, visualize that topic. So I would, if you could, do an example. So like if you have gotten a sound bath yourself, or maybe the guest speaker that you brought on, have a recording of them doing a sound bath to do the example. Another thing that you can do, if it's not a vlog situation, kind of like I said, similar to before, just again have that image, even if that video or a still photo of what the topic was about, and then add your thoughts about that topic. So again, a super easy way to create a reel, and again, it is going to be like more original than doing like a trend or something of that nature. All right, let's get into the next category of self-care brands, which is estheticians. So for one of the, I think one of the best way is like doing before and afters. That can be so great. It can be after one service, it can be after multiple services, but basically you want to show people what kind of results that your clients are getting from working with you. So this is so powerful because in the end, we want our reels to convert. We want our reels to create a community. We want our reels to help us get more clients. And as an esthetician, this is perfect for showing the results and getting people like, oh yeah, I want to look like that, or I want to feel like that, and getting them in the door. So this is a great type of reel to do. This is actually from my own esthetician, Aaliyah, who is the owner of Citrine and Soul Aesthetics. If I have time, I'm going to go ahead and like post these reels to my story so you all can see like the full reels of the different examples I'm talking about. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that this is from Leah from Citrine and Soul Aesthetics. All right, so the next type for estheticians is doing your routines. Doing things that you already do. People love seeing that. People love seeing the behind the scenes, as well as just letting them know you're a real person. You are the person behind the brand. And these are the things that you're doing for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So this here is a screenshot from another esthetician friend of mine, Sierra. She is the owner of Eternal Beauty Lounge. And this nighttime routine reel that she did just killed it. It did so well. Again, I'll be posting these in my stories. But this, it is something that you're already doing, was really cool. Like, Gary Vee has a quote. He says, document, don't create. And this is so good because you're going to be doing your face routine and all that stuff anyway. Go ahead and record yourself doing it. You can do a voiceover over it. You can just have words, whatever you like, but it's something that you're already doing. So go ahead and show people what it is, and they can learn from that and be inspired from that. Alrighty, so the next way, which is one of my favorite things, is to share knowledge. This is really great because this is going to help build trust with your audience. This is going to help them know like, oh yes, this is the person for me. And also this is so great because it's just a wealth of content. There's so many things that you can talk about. For example, you can go into detail of one type of ingredient that is in a product that you use and talk about the benefits of the product, or maybe talk about an ingredient that maybe isn't great and that people should look out for, and tell them why. This is very helpful and valuable information, and this is going to help people know like, hey, if I have questions about this, this is the person to go to. Again, you can share it about your own products, you can share it about ingredients, you can share about like the steps of how you do things. There's so many different things that you can talk about. And a good thing about Reels is, they are short form videos. So you can break up something into so many pieces. Like for your product, you can go, highlight 3 or 5 different ingredients, and each one of those 3 or 5 can be a reel in itself. So bam, you just multiplied your content based off of one thing that you have. So this is a really excellent way to build trust and connection with your audience and let them know that you know your stuff. All right, the last group that we're going to be talking about is healers. So I am a big fan of all the amazing healers in the world. In particular, I'm going to talk about sound healers. I'm going to talk about yogis. And then I'm also going to talk about therapists. So those are the different healers I'm going to highlight. But again, this can apply to several different people. So one of the first thing is for sound healers. If you're a sound healer, go ahead, again, document, don't create. Record yourself giving a sound bath. And this can go 2 different ways. You can have the actual visual of you doing the sound bath, or you can also use that audio of the sound bath and put that onto different reels. It could be of maybe just of your day, it could be just a different type of clip, but you have that sound of your sound healing, and you have a good title so that way other people can find it. And you never know, other people may use your sound and then be able to come back to you, be like, oh, who made this sound, and be able to come back to your page. So that is one way that you can do. And just as a bonus, another thing, I feel like this, personally don't see this enough, is like take people through the journey of how, you're picking up and finding your instruments, or maybe the stories behind them if you're not currently getting any new instruments. Share like, where did you get this bowl from? Where did you get your ocean drum from? What made you get it? Sharing those stories behind that is something that I feel like is a gap a lot of people aren't doing. And again, it's a great way to connect with your audience. Alrighty, so the next one is going to be for my yogis. Now, again, this is something that I think I may be seeing it a few times, but I think this will be, very beneficial, is to break down a yoga move. So a reel that you can do is to basically, show the yoga move. You want to show it in its regular form. You can show a modified form. You can show an advanced form. So now, you have one yoga pose and you just did 3 different ways to do it. You can have that all in one video, or you can break it up. Again, multiply that content. Show people like, okay, this is how you do it here, this is how you do it here, this is how you do it here. So that would be something that's really cool to show. It's something short and sweet that can fit into a reel on top of, if you're going live and doing just the traditional yoga flows, yoga classes. This is a great way to break things up. Another good thing I think for yogis to do is talk about the different it lost me, but I was going to say basically the different tools that people, you have the yoga blocks, you have the straps, and talk about those different kinds of equipment and, how and when they are used. So much knowledge to share there. I don't think that's talked about enough. People suggest that people be like, oh yeah, use a block and things like that. But, talk about why, talk about the different types of positions of where they work best. And, you're bringing great value again to your audience. And then our last one that we're going to talk about today is an idea for therapists. Now, for this, I was going to say basically something that I think is very beneficial. I know with being a therapist, there is a little bit more constraints about what you can and cannot talk about. So be mindful of that. However, sharing an experience, it could either be of yourself, maybe a client, of course, without sharing any personal information, but share an experience with a suggestion, something that is semi-common that a lot of people deal with, and then, share the tools, the resources to help people get through that. Because when they are, looking for a therapist or thinking about a therapist, maybe sometimes they don't even know they're in need of one. But if they say like, hey, oh, that's something that I'm going through. That's an experience that I can relate to. And then you share, what can be done to help. That's going to go a long way. Another really, I think, awesome real idea for therapists is just, sorry, it was on the tip of my tongue. Experience with a suggestion is, again, those different resources. You all went to school, you all have all these amazing different types of healing resources, of activities and things that you could do. Share those. Like, this is an activity, here is a prompt, here is this. Basically, you want to share things that's going to help people get those kind of small results, as well as maybe talking about the things that help you prepare for therapy. Some people maybe want to start, but they're like, how do I find a therapist? How do I know if this is the right person for me? Is it okay if I need to switch therapists? Answering these questions that maybe a lot of people get, if you've had these questions yourself, or try checking on forums and things like that, and answer these questions that people have surrounding therapy, and again, be that go-to place where people know, like, hey, I can get the answers from them. So, it's gonna go. So overall, I just wanted to say, don't be afraid to make reels. There are just so many things that you can post. Overall, just don't overthink about what to post. Again, like I was saying, document, don't create. Honestly, I think that is one of the easiest things to do. And it can be kind of weird to, wrap your brain around, right? Like, I know it took me a while to really fully utilize document, don't create. Because it's like, oh no, we still want to do things the way we want to do it. But, the other day, I made a reel and I was literally reading, and I wasn't fake reading. I was reading. Like, I was literally enjoying my book, but I was recording myself enjoying my book. And I made that into a reel, and it did amazing. It did far greater than I thought it would. And also, what I love most is that it helped me create a community, helped me create a lot of engagement and connections, which I really love, because I love reading. And that helped me find other people who love reading. And, that's kind of what it's about. People, sometimes you get caught up with like, oh, how many people did it reach? How many views did I get? Oh, it didn't get a lot of views. Well, what's that saying? Let's say you got 30 views. If 30 people walked into the room right now, wouldn't that be a lot? Wouldn't you be like, oh, wow, this is a great, amount of people who are, in here cheering me on, watching me. So, you really want to think about quality over quantity. Yes, it is great and validating to get all those views. But, even if it is 30 people, maybe you really helped 1, 2, 5 or more of those people who watched it. And doesn't it have value as well? And then lastly, just don't be afraid to experiment. Like, reels, as you can tell, IG reels, all this stuff is changing all the time. So you have to be willing and able to change and pivot as well. And that's going to take you so far. So hopefully these real ideas helped you. And let me know if you use any of them. If you have a bunch of content, whether it's from podcast episodes, whether it's from, recording yourself, but maybe not posting them. If you have content, audio, written, video that you need help repurposing so you can multiply your content and get more reels out there, I am Too Geek'd to help you out. Feel free to head to toogeekd.com to set up your discovery call. I look forward to assisting you. And, last but not least, thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I really hope that you learned something new. And, I really hope that these real ideas help you create some original and authentic content. And I cannot wait to see what you create. If you found value in this, please share so that others can find value in it as well. And until next time, I'll see you later.